I'm Maria Menounos, and you're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
What is up, guys? We are back with another after show of the Love and Hip Hop Miami Season 3. This time it is the reunion part 1. And y'all, if y'all watched it, y'all know how poppin' the whole episode was. I mean, we got everything that we needed. I'm your host, Tyra Prude. I am joined with the lovely Jeroslyn Johnson. Say hey to everybody, girl.
Hey, y'all. Hey.
Okay, and then of course we have everyone's favorite critical thinker, Mr. Alfie, at the bottom. Say what's up to everybody.
What's up?
Yes. Okay, so we got a lot to talk about, y'all. This reunion was popping. You know, we got to talk about. We gonna start off with Trina popping off, period, because she shut the whole set down. We got to talk about Amara and MJ. We got to talk about Joseline, Premadonna, Miami Tip. It was low key the Premadonna show. So we're gonna talk about all of that. We have, I believe, we're gonna get into some news and gossip. You know, bear with us. You know, we like to talk. And then we're gonna have our special segment and maybe some predictions on what's gonna happen in part 2. So, what are you guys' overall thoughts of the whole episode? It was a lot. What about you, Alfie? Let us know.
Oh, me first? Okay.
Yes, you go first.
Let's see. I thought it was exciting. I thought a lot of the relationships. I mean, they tried to dive into stuff. MJ and Amara's situation was well addressed. I think there was still, a lot of viewpoints. I think that show how much that's like real family and really tied to their lives. I don't think that is any fictitiousness. And it's weird that he's still in the house. That's the issue we're going to have to talk about. I like how Trick came through with the gang and rep. The whole Julian situation looks a lot more shadier than I expected.
Than what we thought.
And it seems like, they were spitting real stuff at him. He had a leg to stand on, and that was the sad part about that. Ooh.
Wow, coming from the person who was down for Julian this whole season. Wow.
Without facts.
All right,
if you got to have facts, got to have facts.
Oh yeah, I appreciate that, Alfie, that, you're now just even admitting with all the receipts coming in that Tyra and I were right from the beginning, because we said that he was shady. I thought that the reunion was so good. Because again, we had been saying the whole season with us covering the show that Miami is one of the more genuine, authentic Love and Hip Hop franchises of the franchise. So in the reunion, you really just see, for one, what you get to see too is the people who love the camera time, who probably didn't even get a lot of camera time during the season, but like Bobby, to me at times he just would have like side banter that it was at times like, even when Kendall had told him to shut up, I was like, Bobby, shut up. Like,
literally, what are you talking for?
Like, you just stop talking. You weren't even really in the season like that. I had totally forgot Prince wasn't even in this season until I saw him in the audience. I was like, boy, you got demoted.
Look, Saucy Santana stepped in.
Saucy Santana, and I love Saucy Santana's storyline. I love seeing that. And then afterwards, Saucy got into it, like threw a shot at Kendall, because Kendall had took some shade at his eyeshadow, the eyeliner.
That was hilarious.
But it was really interesting to see like Premadonna on the reunion, with recapping everything that had went on throughout the season. And from what I took from Premadonna on the reunion, I mean, I am interested to see part 2, but even when she was explaining like her story of her hustle and everything, there still just seemed something in her that I saw that I was just like, I don't know, this girl really seems like she's really just, out for her, like she's about her business, and just get a recognition, like not in that way, like it's like kind of like she wants to be like popping, like she wants to be
she wants to be the queen of Love and Hip Hop.
She wants to be like the HBSC of the Miami franchise. It was disappointing that Joseline didn't go to the reunion.
Yes.
Because I feel like Joseline would have been the only one to be able to shut Premadonna down the way she needed to shut down.
Sure.
Exactly.
And the last thing I want to say, I really didn't like when, Trick was getting amped up at Julian and Premadonna came out of nowhere with the rollers in her hair. It was just like, girl, what are you doing? Like, I just saw people doing too much.
Too much.
It just kind of rubbed me the wrong way. But that's my take on it.
I feel you. I totally agree with the whole Premadonna thing. I feel like if Joseline was there, she would not have been all bark like how she was. She was like, I'm the one who got the businesses that's telling everybody what to do, this, and this. And like you said, her coming out with the curls, I'm like, girl, go finish getting touched up so you can make it for your segment of the show.
Right.
It was just, it was a lot. But overall, I thought it was really good. I really like that we got more insight on Amara and MJ because that's been such an ongoing thing. I was happy to see Miami Tip and Saucy Santana whatever they hashed out. We gonna talk
Trick
about
helped them with that. Yeah, that was good.
Trick, yeah. But it was a really good episode. I wanted to ask you guys. Now we know Nina Parker used to be the host of the reunion special. So how did you guys think Claudia did with the whole reunion special and holding it down as a host?
I thought she was.
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. Oh. No. All right. I thought she was dope. I mean, the whole swag, it wasn't like she touched topics but didn't push people's buttons. They were allowed to have their own emotions. She wasn't swayed by the energy. She's been around the block of reality TV shows early in her career. So she kind of was a nice female fitted touch. I think my other favorite host of this type of stuff is like a John Sally. He did a great job when he was hosting. So in the sense of keeping it classy, professional, but yet still topic trending to what the ratchetness of it wanted to talk about. She didn't necessarily act like it was too much. It seemed like it was just accommodating for everybody to switch and transition well between one topic and another.
Yeah, I was impressed. I was happy to see her on the screen. You know, there was talk about it when it was first announced that she was now the new host of the reunions, and seeing her, it did kind of make me feel like, you know what, I do think it was time for a new host. We love Nina Parker. She did such a great job for all the years that she did it, but it's nice to see a new face on there, new energy. I mean, I just got to keep it real because I know I got to keep it real.
We know, girl.
I would have preferred for her to do a different hairstyle. It did
like the ponytail.
It looked slayed on one side, but I couldn't stop staring at this bald spot on the second side, and I kept looking, and I was like, "Is that a bald spot in the upper corner?" But then when she turns to the other side, you see a whole slicked edge. So to me, you know, with us being on camera, I would have just thought like, she would have put more thought into that and been like, you know what? Let me not do this.
Let me do a little curl, a little swoop.
Yes. Overall, I thought Claudia did a great job. I think she could be good for the next couple of years until it's time for another fresh face.
Yeah, same. I totally agree. I think she did a great job. It's like she kind of just fit right in. It wasn't awkward. It wasn't like her trying to, you know, figure out where she fits in the whole thing. It's like, she just came in like, look, you know, Nina did what she had to do. Now it's my turn, and I'm not trying to be better or less of her. I'm just being me. And it just really reflected throughout the whole season that it's just her and her personality. So I really like that. But okay, we gotta talk about Trina. We have to talk about Trina. So Trina, first of all, the whole reunion, you know, she was very respectful. She was really cool, you know, just in the mix, sharing. Even with Julian, she didn't pop off like how I thought she was going to. But when Miss Nikki Natural came on, she had to give her some words. And pretty much, if you guys don't remember, Nikki Natural, the whole thing, she disrespected Trina. She called her out her name, and she pretty much was just like, I deserve to be here on this tour. I don't know who told you I don't need to be, but I am that B, is what she thought. How did y'all feel about just that whole interaction? Do you feel like Nikki is scary and she didn't hold it down like how she should have? And do you think Trina had a right to go off on Nikki the way that she did during this reunion?
Trina definitely had a right to go off. I know she wanted to lay hands on that child, and I you know, I can't judge her for that. I don't think that Nikki was scary. I think that
you don't think she was scary?
No, I think she knew. She felt stupid, and there's not really much you could say when you feel stupid. Like, you could be extra stupid and be like, yeah, bitch, whatever. Instead, she tried to take the approach to make people be somewhat on her side by saying, wow, and you're a role model to girls. Like, girl, shut up.
Yeah, like, it sounded real childish.
She is childish, you know? So, because when that whole scene had happened, I knew that she had popped off at Trina, but when they played it back at the reunion, you really got to see how Trina went up to her to comfort her. And she just said, no, bitch, back up.
Yeah.
So then it's like, okay, then on top of that, like, us after even the show stopped filming, leading up to the reunion, Nikki's been throwing jabs at Trina on social media. So Trina came already ready knowing, like, and her energy was on a million. You got to take it into effect. She's still mourning. The fact that some girl that she really only gave the benefit of the doubt off a trick is out here trying to disrespect her. It's like, you know what? And then everything with her album, I think it was just like, it was just a lot of anger.
The built up.
And it was directed towards the right person because she she tried it. She really tried it.
She tried it.
I feel a couple of different ways. I see it as I'm tired of seeing Trina in that position with young wannabe up and coming people. And I felt like even though she won as far as energy, and when somebody disrespects you, come at them, I feel like being the OG and getting to a point where, people start really paying homage and respect. She ain't got no time to really be fighting with her like that kind of thing. She got young writers who could do that. I mean, the girl's already been jumped. So I feel like it was one of those situations where that didn't necessarily help at all. But from all the things that transpired, she wasn't wrong on her stance. I'm getting tired of seeing her getting disrespected by young ladies that should be, we're learning from her and stuff like that. And the whole thing is because the trick relationship, it be like that. You get those vouchers based off of relationships. And when you mess that up, now there can't be another young lady that comes out of the trick situation for Trina because she's going to be so caught up in what this situation has transpired. And I just hope it needs to go away, just in the sense of where else you going to go other than people really getting hurt. And somebody really messing up reputations. Hers is already in the trash, so the only one that is up is Trina's.
I mean, I agree to a certain extent. I feel you. I hate that Trina has to be put in these predicaments to go out of her character. But I personally feel like Trina needed that in that moment. She didn't get her time during that scene because Nikki, that's when she ran off. Remember, she call the police or something like that. So Trina, I think she was just still wrapping her mind around it. And like you get into an argument and in the heat of the moment, you just saying stuff and then later you be like, dang, I forgot to add this point. So I feel like Trina needed that in that moment to just let it all out. She had plenty of time to sit and think about it, soak it all in, and she had to get that release. And I just, first of all, I was crying when she was like, I don't trust her. I don't talk to no female that got kids and braces. I was crying. I'm like, why did you go finish this?
And I didn't know Nikki Natural had like 3 or 4 kids.
Yes, and I also didn't know that she's known for being with older men. Like you remember Trina kept saying, because you keep messing with these 90-year-old men having their babies and things like that. I didn't know that either. So at this point,
they was dropping some tea in this reunion.
It was so much tea. And you know what's crazy? Because like we talk about it, saying like how sometimes we feel it's scripted and sometimes we feel like they're not necessarily genuine. But I feel like this reunion showed me
the most genuine.
It's the way they produce it. Yeah, it kind of makes it look a little like, fake. But at that reunion, how they was just dropping gems, I'm like, oh, that's not fake. That's real tea, honey. And I am soaking it all up. Period.
Yes.
But that was a lie. And then Nikki, went back to Kendall, and she just like y'all said, she knows that she was stupid. She doesn't have anything to say. She doesn't have nothing to back her up. It's the principle that she pretty much ruined it for herself, and she has a lot of ass kissing to do in order to get back in a good predicament. But
speaking of good predicament,
yes, Alfie,
the best predicament is y'all rocking out with us here on this YouTube. We thank you for commenting, subscribing, giving us these likes. You are the reason why we are the ESPN and TV talk.
Yes, you guys are. Okay, let's talk about Miss Amara and MJ. So this was a lot of tea too that was dropped. So we know they weren't on good terms. Well, they were on good terms, clearly. I mean, MJ has been writing for her regardless. I don't know what terms they're on, but it's good enough. And long story short, it's revealed that they're not together, but they are living in the same house. And MJ is still pretty much like, I'm going to support her pretty much until she sees me for who I am and who I'm supposed to be in her life. And we saw Shay just flip out. Like, you need to man up. You need to stop being emotional. All right, Jeroslyn, give me your spiel on how this whole new tea.
I think back of what Alfie had said earlier in the season when he talked about Shay and the Amara situation and just saying how Shay is a genuine person and she really moves off of morals and values. And last night, like, I definitely feel like at times Shay is misunderstood because of just her aggressive approach in tone and everything. But everything she said on the reunion was accurate. I agreed with her 100%. Even when she said to Amara, like, look, like, if you don't, you don't want to be with him, let him go, because he ain't gonna leave on his own. He's love blind, and you need to just let him go so you both can move on with your life. Because it's clear that Amara is not invested in this relationship, but Amara is such a nice person. And at the same time, he probably does do so much for her. So it's like she's just tolerating it. But you can tell she don't want to be with him anymore. And he's just obsessed with her, and he's not going to leave unless she forces him to leave. So Alfie, I give that to you. You were right.
Thank you. I get ones too. All right. So, I mean, it's weird because it's like, for his perspective, I feel bad for him. Secondly, you never know what's going to work to get your love back. And, it's one of those, seeing somebody do the scratch off tickets and can spend a bunch of money, but as soon as they hit $1 gazillion, it was all worth it. So him being in the house seems a real weak move. Him just being attached to her seems weak. But if it works and they end up together, then who cares how you got in the door?
So you're saying he's taking a chance?
He's taking, well, I think, me personally, I believe in letting people go, and if it's meant to be, they'll come back. So him staying there is the wrong move for a guy like me. But it's also the possibility, as soon as he leaves that door, he ain't never coming back. So he might be sucking up all his last little days with it that he can. And maybe he does something that convinces her, because he's saying he's trying to do the management on his own, like I mentioned he should have done first and foremost. But he's saying he's trying to focus or let her see that. And if you ain't around, she is only assumptions or assuming, or somebody else could come and be, taking her vision off of letting her see you grow as a man. So it's a high risk situation, because it could get real dangerous being in someone else's home that don't kind of want you there. Because as soon as it goes left, you could end up in jail. Like, he's really taking
or not even in jail.
Risk.
She can quickly say, "This is my house. You can get out." And now you're homeless on Shay's couch.
Well, I mean,
to Shay's point, now I got to deal with it, because who door he gonna come knocking on? Mine. So I don't know. This reunion, y'all know I've low-key been team MJ. Like, if you remember in the beginning, I was like, he just loves her. Like, he just wants to be in her presence. He wants to support. But when the stuff dropped with, his ex, I was kind of just like, I don't know. Maybe he is using her. But I don't know. I feel like now that this season has wrapped, I'm going back to what I felt. And I really feel like MJ genuinely loves her. And yes, he can be doing what he needs to do to, step up as a man. But I feel like I don't know. I feel like there's women who self-sabotage themselves in a relationship, and they ruin good men who are genuinely there for them. And
but he ain't ready yet. He ain't ready yet. If he was perfect, he would be in a good position.
I'm not saying
because he got the heart. He just don't got whatever the X factor is.
But the heart is. I feel like the heart is just what you need. Like, at the end of the day, you just
not if it's just a sinking ship.
Let me finish my point. So, okay, long story short, I feel like Amara is in this place where she wants to have her cake and eat it too. And if she knows how much he loves her, she knows how much he's supportive, and it's like she wants that. And I feel like it's just from that void of not having her dad and not having that male figure in her life. But at the same time, it's just like, I want to up and move how I want to move. I'm rambling at this point, but y'all get what I'm trying to say. I want her to give her man MJ a chance, and if she doesn't, she needs to stop self-sabotaging. If she really likes him, she needs to really just go 10 toes deep. And if not, she needs to stop trying to be selfish, because he can be pouring into somebody else, and that could ultimately damage.
Exactly. I think they need to just part ways.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I don't know. I just feel like it seems like MJ is a good guy. He's a lover boy. He just likes to be in love. And I think he just needs to find somebody that is more compatible. I don't think
We'll see if he makes it to next
Amara.
season.
We'll see. Or
He
like
in that magazine picture with her.
Okay, before we change subject, we gotta talk about him and JoJo though. So it's been confirmed that
JoJo ain't nothing but a damn liar, and that was her only little bit of camera time, and she was trying to stretch it by trying to say he was in her DM. And then all of a sudden, you get asked about it, and she was like, "It was like a message," and he just
wasn't that. Girl, you came in there with that sly ass face talking about because he was DMing me, and then get to the reunion when everybody ready to pop off. See, she reminded me of another Nikki.
Wore that gorgeous blue dress to be on the reunion. 8 seconds.
8 seconds.
Yep.
Next, I really hope we don't need to see her again next season.
I hope we don't either. I don't think we're gonna see Julian next season. Let's talk about him and Trina and that whole thing. So we kind of tapped into it a little bit earlier about how we feel like it's been revealed the type of person Julian is in this episode. I personally did not expect all of these people to back Trina and, be able to account times where Julian has been messy in the business like they did on this season. I mean, Trick steps in, Joy steps in. Trick even made a point and was like, okay, how many people, what did he say? I wrote it in my notes. I'm just gonna free ball or whatever. But he was pretty much just like, you don't have anybody that can support you as being a good manager. Like who can argue that you have not done them shady like you've done everybody else? So it was just a whole lot. We found out that Amara had a deal with Trina's label or whatever. Trina had no idea. So now people asking her for money. It was just so much shadiness. I'm just gonna let y'all have added.
I'm gonna let Alfie. No, I'm gonna let Alfie go first.
Alfie go.
I'm doing quick though. I'm quick because
Julian this whole season.
Well, I was
so you
with
need to
lack
give us
of
your
facts.
side.
Lack of facts. I mean, all that stuff didn't come out to the show, reunion show. None of that was talked about in the show, and I was like, until something solid is said to where and even in the episode, he said the way the contract was set up wasn't her name on it, but then with the way things are set up structurally, he easily could have been someone who just took the opportunity of what I built with Trina and tried to do something for herself. And now it looks properly like that. And then even with the way Trick came at him, and I just don't, I mean, if you are somebody who has something to stand on, you stand on it. And it got to a point where with all that they said, he was just sitting there like, whatever about it. And I was like, well, at that point, you lost your pushback. So you should have receipts. He should have been prepared for all of those stuff because his whole season was to be there. So if he shot down, then he went there to get shot down. That's it.
Yeah. I mean, I agree with everything Alfie said. And just to add on that, it would be great to see all the Julians be able to get put on blast on national television the way it's just a good glory moment for any of us who have ever been mistreated by somebody who's been in an upper position. And sometimes you walk away feeling like, damn, like I got really nothing out of it, just used and abused. It's really good to see when those kind of people get their karma. And that was a good karma moment for Julian. He got dragged on national television, aired out, and now I'm pretty sure it will be hard for him to sign any artist moving forward because now everybody knows who he really is.
Oh, he still might end up in jail. So
and that
depends. It's like however this tears
too.
down, this could become a big money situation or like jail time messing around with
it has
fraudulent.
To because nothing is adding up. Like he's saying that he used all of Trina's money on her, but it doesn't make sense that all of these other people need money. And then it's just a whole lot. And he's just messy with his business. I don't know if he needs an assistant or what, but he can't even keep track of I feel like he's like a promiser. Like he promises people who really want to be famous, who's like the naive people. He just promises them things, throw them into all of these random situations, but doesn't necessarily provide the proper protection or guidance that they need to excel. It's just like, let me just get these quick clients, do what I have to do. And I don't know nothing about management, but from the little bit that I do know about being somebody that represents someone, you have to have some kind of structure and order, and you need to know what you're doing. And it seems like Julian does not necessarily know that.
Bye,
So
Julian.
by Julian. I was happy that they all went in on him, and even Bobby Light he had something to say about everybody's situation.
Everything, because he didn't have no camera time this season.
He had no camera time.
He was trying to get his little moments.
He was definitely trying to get his little moment. So yeah, I'm happy that they worked that whole thing out. Okay, let's talk about I don't know. Do y'all want to talk about Premadonna and Joseline, or are we good on that?
I mean, there's not really much to say. Joseline wasn't there to defend herself, and now Premadonna took it to drag her. When it's like, no, you're not. Jocelyn's not there to react to you talking about her being a mother. Yeah. Like it was, she was just hitting so far below the belt, and Joseline wasn't there. And we know how it would have went down if Joseline was there.
It was very one-sided. It was kind of just like how she mentioned her weight loss company, and how apparently Joseline's weight loss company failed, and that's why she don't like her, because she done bared such and such kids, had a C-section, and she's still popping. And I don't know. I agree. I feel like she came ready with her side, and she pretty. Sorry, what was you gonna say?
This is what I wanted to say, because I was chilling with Joseline like 2 weeks ago, and it was my first time really meeting her, like chilling with her in person, like spending time with her. I really got to see how she's really like a genuine chick. I even saw a lot of similarities in our personality, because it's like I get along with genuine people. When I can sense the funniness, I can still tolerate you, but over time it gets exposed, and then it turns out whatever. And from the beginning, I was the one who looked like the bad guy, because Jeroslyn, you just always got something to say. It's like, no, I'm telling you that this girl is shady. You know what I'm saying? So when they showed the clip back from Joseline was only in like 2 episodes. The first episode, when Joseline was explaining to Trina why she didn't like Premadonna, and she just said that she is a nasty person, and I don't respect nasty people who do wrong things to people. And like I said, I was hanging out with Joseline, and it was just like, you could see the growth in her over the years. Joseline was never so much of a nasty person back on the other reality show. She's been very defensive, overly defensive, to where she'll get nasty.
She was a little messy.
Extremely messy. Oh no, extremely messy. But I'm saying what we're seeing with Premadonna, like the way Premadonna picked on Amara. And then even just the way Premadonna was conducting herself on the reality show. What I'm saying is, what I think really happened between Joseline and Premadonna is like Joseline genuinely could see her character, and she's like, I don't like you. And so with Premadonna, like, I don't know why she don't like me. She jealous of me or whatever. It's like, maybe she could really see more of your true colors than we can. And it's only going to take a couple of more seasons for us to see more of your true colors.
Yeah. I also kind of feel like, they're similar, low key. I think that's why they butt heads. I feel like they see some things of themselves in each other. And I feel like it could be a jealousy thing. I don't know.
Oh, definitely.
And not saying, and I mean, it is what it is. People are human. Like, it is what it is. But I don't know. Yes, like you said, from reflecting back from how Premadonna carried herself with Amara, and just how she's built up messiness, we still can't discredit the fact that Joseline has had her ways also. So I guess what I'm trying to say is, I really wish Joseline was just there to have her side, because I low-key felt like Premadonna had some legitimate points. Like, she did kind of say some things about Joseline. I was just like, okay, this is kind of true. It just kind of left us in a bad space, because she just had the one upper hand, because all she could do was say her side. We didn't have Joseline there to be able to tell her side of how she's a bad person, because she was able to go down a list of the things that Joseline has done, but wasn't nobody there to go down a list of Premadonna for us to get the equal factor of who is wrong. So I don't know, Alfie, what you think?
I mean, I would just say she's the same type of brand as Joseline, and she wants to be the new kid on the block. I think that's more of the biggest thing. I think just because Joseline has flaws doesn't mean she's not a great person. And the things that she sees in Premadonna, I think, are legitimate. And it's shown, because people don't want to fight with her. She would rather fight with them than the one who's punching her in the face. And I think that's a telltale sign. That's it. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Well, either way, I'm just mad that she was not there. I needed Joseline to be there, because I still believe that Premadonna would not have been as spicy as she was if Miss Joseline was in that room. She would have toned it down a little bit because we saw how she acted at her party when the pig came. She was just like, "Oh, I'm whatever. I don't need her." So yeah, but okay, finally we gotta talk about Miami Tip and Saucy Santana. So they finally let it out. We got down to the bottom of, well, I don't know if we necessarily got down to the bottom of what happened at this strip club. Miami Tip is still strong on her side. He's still strong on his side.
It sounds like she was right.
Thank you.
Miami Tip.
Yeah. Yes. Now that we got to really hear the whole side, it sounds like Miami Tip was not lying and told the truth, and Saucy just got mad.
And even the stuff he said afterwards, when he was like the whole walking around the club, rapping people's music.
Right.
Like, come on, man. Who does that?
The scene.
You caused the scene and you got shot at after the club, because at the end of the day, not everybody's going to accept that energy.
Yeah.
The one thing I want to say, it has to do with that, because, Sukihana was involved with that. Because, I love me some Suki.
Yes.
I don't understand why her storyline wasn't more pertaining to how she really is. Like,
how she is.
Yeah, like she is all over the place on social media. Like she was out there.
Yeah.
They really worked hard to tone her down on the show. And I think if they just gave her more of an authentic storyline, she would have more engaging, because she is the show. Like she
is the show. Yeah, she can carry Miami to what it needs to be. And I agree, because following her on Instagram, I just be like, this girl is insane, okay? But it just be so funny because she's just unapologetically her.
She's unapologetic.
But I agree. I think they did kind of like tone her down, but I do respect her. I feel like there's a way that you do things, and I do respect how she did not play a side. Now, remember at the beginning of the season, we used to talk about how Hood Brat used to play sides, because let's not forget, Hood Brat was friends with Nikki Natural, and she was always back and forth. I respected that Sukihana was like, look, this my manager, this my girl, but you're my friend too. I just want y'all to just be able to come on common ground, common terms, so I can live in peace. Like, it wasn't like, girl, did you hear what Saucy said? Oh my God, did you hear what Miami said? Like, she was definitely... I don't know, just said a lot about her character. Like, yeah, she's crazy from what we see on Instagram and all of that, but she's also, I feel like, a genuine person until you step to her, like how Nikki Natural did. But yeah, this reunion was crazy. It was,
and it's still going.
And it's
still part 2 next week.
Part 2. Okay, so let's just go ahead and get into our special segment. So who do y'all think brought the heat this reunion special?
Trina to the Trina.
Trina.
She ain't playing. That whole speech about being the baddest B. Oh, that was great.
Yes.
That was really
it was
juicy.
Great.
There's a moment.
Said Trina, what was she saying about like
a ratchet Malcolm X moment?
Person?
Yes, ratchet Malcolm X moment. Yes, I love it, Alfie. That's so true. I think Trina deserves it as well. The only other person you could probably say is Premadonna, and I just don't feel that she deserves that title, being that she was arguing to herself and Joseline wasn't there to defend herself. And at the end of the day, Amara's not with all of that. So I'm giving it to Trina. She came with it. She's true Miami 305 all day. I was here for it. Period. Point blank. Period.
I was here for it too. I definitely think she brought the heat. But I gotta say somebody else too. I think I was proud of Miami Tip. I feel like she held her ground. She still said what she had to say, and it was valid. And she apologized ultimately. Right. On these reunion shows, we don't see people do that. It ends up in a fight, and low key nothing gets resolved. And I was really happy to just see somebody on the show be a bigger woman and just be like, you know what? I'm just gonna apologize for the sake of just bringing peace. I've said my side. You said yours. We're clearly not gonna come on common ground, so I'm gonna apologize. So I'm gonna give it to her. I think she did. She held herself very well. Mannerisms on point. She don't be getting ratchet. She just say what it is, and she just leaves it alone.
For the whole season, she gets the professionalism award.
Oh yeah.
Definitely.
Yes. She is our manager. She's doing better than Julian at this point. But y'all, that's all I have for today. I'm happy we were able to do this reunion, and we have one more next week. So I'm excited to see you guys. Where can we find you guys on social? Starting with you, Jeroslyn.
You can follow me at Jeroslyn Diva, Jeroslyn Diva.
Alfred, Nolan, Thomas, the number 2. Yeah.
And you can find me on social media at Tyra Prude Official. We love you guys. Stay safe, wash your hands, stay home, and we will see you guys next week. Bye.
Our founder, Keven Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.